YOLO.
YOLO!
See if that's any better. If nothing else, when Windows gives us the warning... Well, if Windows gives us the warning...
I don't even understand. Was there a fucking memory leak in this goddamn software?
I doubt it.
I doubt it, too. The only time I've ever ran into a memory leak was never.
Wow.
Actually, I did run into a memory leak with WoW early on, but...
Oh, yeah, early on. Yeah, that's to be expected.
So, hello, everyone. I think we resolved it.
I think we're good.
I think we...
The ultimate test is when...
very good.
The ultimate test is when people will pop up on the chat saying, man, your guys' shit sucks.
Your stream
bunch
is
of noobs.
absolutely horrid.
Bunch of noobs.
That's what they'll tell us.
They will tell us. They'll type it out in a British accent.
But it looks fine. I'm just gonna turn on the sound just for a second so you might hear some
test is
very
when...
good.
The ultimate test is when... Is that what we sound like?
That is what we sound like, apparently.
God,
so.
we sound awesome.
Oh, stream. Let me just turn it.
We sounded so good. We had to hear it a second time.
Anyways, welcome everyone to a good old another episode or whatever of Something Went Wrong.
I've never seen this screen before. Something isn't working properly. I mean, I appreciate Twitch's honesty.
Yeah, I do.
I hope the stream's still up.
I think it is. Oh, it is.
We are.
Welcome. Yeah. So everyone, welcome to another fantastic, no issues ever.
Technical issues.
Superchat 64, where we talk about video games, and I just come off right into this just poor British accent.
Yes.
All the time.
Quite right.
Seems fine to me. Good
stuff, man.
Supremo. I actually thumbs up over here where my other monitor is. Supremo.
Yes.
Watch out for my hitchhiker thumb.
Justin's entire room is monitors.
Yeah.
It's like that scene from The Matrix.
I wish.
Yeah. It'd be awesome.
I lounge back in my giant chair and just start fucking clacking away. I'm reading it. I would hope you would take me to the hospital at that point because I am on some severe drugs. I mean, just...
The good shit.
Absolutely horrible.
The good shit.
Yeah, but we'll start off the show with what we do every week. Mm-hmm. What we've been doing. I've had an eventful fucking week of just straight up Payday, Diablo, greatness, Hearthstone. You can just name it. So Payday's been awesome. Man and I are fucking climbing the rank of levels.
Yes.
We're getting very good. We're getting very adept at situations.
That's what I like
me
to
and her
hear.
can pretty much solo any of the missions.
Nice.
So we're pretty much fucking masters of Shadow Raid. Any difficulty.
Yeah.
Me and her can pretty much stealth that entire thing. Never get caught.
What difficulties have you guys been playing?
Well, the last one we did for Shadow Raid was Overkill. So.
Yes. That's where shit gets fun.
So we've been trying. We were doing very hard, or we were doing hard. Now we're doing very hard. So we're very hard for all the other ones. But on the ones where we don't really need people, we try to overkill it.
Overkill is my preferred.
Right. So
flavor.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Whenever in Payday, if you get a contract, so I noticed that I can pick a contract from, like, whenever I'm like looking just friends only, I can pick a contract from the list. Mm-hmm. If I buy a contract, does it give me better reward?
No. There's a couple of things about the bought contract. So it comes out of your offshore cache of money.
Right.
And your offshore account has pretty limited purposes. The main purpose for a while was that they had like a offshore. Well, you could gamble with your offshore account, which didn't give you a whole lot of benefit. You could basically like wager like if I put this many millions of dollars from my offshore account on this particular bonus or this particular perk, it will make it so that you are some percentage more likely to get a infamous item or like an infamous mask item or a really good, or like it'll increase the likelihood of you getting a weapon modification over other Payday drops.
Okay.
But I don't think it's been a permanent feature. It seems like they'll roll it out for like a month or two at a time, then roll it back. It's not a permanent feature, and to me, it's not quite worth it because it seems like you have to spend a lot of offshore money to get that benefit. The other use for the offshore cache of money is that in order to go infamous, like I previously described, it costs $200 million of your offshore account.
Oh, so you literally need $200 million to
go infamous, which is that resetting back to level 0.
Do you get extra masks for going infamous?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
you do.
Cool.
But yeah, it requires you to spend $200 million of your offshore account money, and your spendable money resets back to zero. But as does your experience and your levels and everything else. But you keep the remainder of your offshore though, which is pretty important. You can kind of cheese the system.
So when you prestige essentially.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right. When you go infamous, do you still have your weapons and modifications?
Yep. You have your weapons, you have your inventory, your masks, everything.
Beautiful.
But certain weapons do have level requirements on them, like the 50 cal you require to be level 70 something, I think. Like the fire axe requires you to be level.
Actually,
71.
I just got the 50 cal, so I think it's like level 60 something.
That sounds right. Yeah. But there's a number of weapons and items you can use right out of the starting game. You can kind of cheese the system, though. One thing that me and some of my friends discovered is that if right before you go infamous, you buy as many sniper rifles as you like, as many 50 cals as you can, using all of your spending cash, like as much of it as you can, like buying as many extra slots as you can, just fill that shit up. Then go infamous, and then sell that shit. Then you have a nice buffer of spendable money.
Okay.
So that can help you if you're short on spendable cash.
No one plays with you.
No one plays
Eric,
with
you
me.
bitch. Nah, I'm just kidding, Eric.
Oh, man.
No, Eric, we would play with you. All you have to do is just, there's this thing where on Steam, it's real cool. I'm just going to tell you about it real quick. I don't know if you've known about it. You actually hit Shift-Tab, and it opens up this menu in your game, and it actually displays your friends list if you would like, and you can right-click on my name and hit this thing called Send Message, and then you just... You use your fingers on this thing called a keyboard, and you type onto it, and you say, hey, can I join you? And then that's what you do. So, yeah.
Or just right-click and hit join game and just, crash their shit.
You could. I typically leave friend join on, so I
learn how to friends.
Yeah, learn to friends, please.
Full Metal's like, all right, the party may start now.
Allah Akbar 9/11 was okay. Okay. What? Okay, so obviously, let's just go ahead and
butt stuff 2015.
Okay,
legit.
Yeah, you're actually not even going to be able to translate because you're just gone. So, yeah, good day, sir. All right. Anyways,
mind blown. Oh my
gosh. But yeah, then I was playing the new Diablo season. Me and Kyle have been playing Kyle Bauman.
Oh, cool.
And Kyle Bauman obviously has been playing 24/7 the entire time since it came out. So he
no sleep.
Is just beyond me in levels.
Nice.
And then I started a hardcore character, so we're playing hardcore. Me and him that's what we're exclusively doing this round.
A brave soul.
He's a barbarian. He's doing great.
Nice.
I had a crusader, and he was kind of. I was leveling up, but slowly because crusaders. Crusaders have terrible fucking offense capability until you kind of get gear. So he was helping me out a little bit, and decided, let's power level. But we kept the difficulty low, kept it decently low. We went to tournament 1, and then I died at level 66.
So close.
Amanda had actually sent me a text message, and I peered over and lifted up to look at it, and I wasn't watching the screen, and when I came back, I was surrounded by enemies. Kyle was on the other side of the fucking room, and I was standing on ice that was damaging me, so I just started blowing all my cooldowns, and I'm like, please, just don't do this now, please, and,
dead.
And then it said, your hero will be remembered forever.
Forever.
And I archived him, and then made a wizard, and now we're actually blazing through.
Nice.
We found that if you actually level together, so like he's leveling a monk up, and I'm leveling this wizard, we're actually leveling faster than he was power leveling me. So it's been pretty insane.
Yep.
Hearthstone is the same. I
for better or worse,
still have the same complaints, but I still for some reason subject myself to it. So yeah.
Oh, man.
How about you, Alex?
How about me, Alex? Actually, did play a number of stuff over the weekend.
I saw you were playing Don't Starve.
Yeah, we played that for a good while. My buddy Corey's a huge fan of that game, and I enjoy playing it, but it just takes your soul and just crushes it into little pieces, eats it, and then shits it right back out.
Wow.
It's a great game, but, I mean, if you ever start to feel complacent, like, wow, we're doing really well, we've got, like, a stable dynamic going, like, you know, things going, and then all of a sudden a motherfucking Deerclops will come and just wreck your farms and wreck your Prestidigitator and other cool bullshit that I had set up. But I'm not bitter. Yeah, I mean, we actually survived what we used to consider the worst part, which was winter. We survived through winter like a champ, thought we were going great. Then spring begins. And the problem with spring is that it starts raining, and then it doesn't stop. And it's raining so much that you freeze to death.
Oh.
Because that makes sense. And there was one time where it rained for so long, so consistently long, that it started raining frogs, an endless supply of frogs being an enemy, and don't starve. They just killed everyone. Like, it rained for like 5 days straight. And it was just spawning a hopeless number of frogs, and we just couldn't do shit about it. We tried to fight them off at first, but it was a hopeless amount of frogs.
I think Amanda and I are actually going to start up pretty soon.
It's a great game, and it's super fun, but, like, there will come a time where you'll get to, like, to day 50-something. Mm-hmm. You'll die by the most embarrassing, horrible way possible, and then you'll just kind of look at each other and be like, can we play something else?
I love the game. I've played it. I have the game, and then Amanda has the game. She played the piss out of it. We played it when it was single player only.
Oh. Freezing rain, right? God, it's so awful.
75% of humidity, so cold.
So, I love that game, but god damn, I love that game, but fuck that game.
Yep.
Man, seriously.
I think the last time we played though was just before they were introducing caves. So it was actually a long ass time.
You know, I don't know if I've seen any caves. We've only played Don't Starve together, and I know they've slowly been porting stuff over, but there's still a lot of stuff from the original game that I haven't seen.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So they were like implementing caves. I thought.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
I never experienced it.
Yeah, I've not either. I'm interested.
Yeah.
But it'll probably be a minute till we get around to that. The other game we well, and of course we've also been continuing Icewind Dale. Still super fun. Still supremely difficult. But we're getting there. We've found ways where, like, so it uses 2nd edition D&D, so things like THAC0 and low ACs are a thing in that game. But, like, we've found some good strategies where we've my buddy has 2 characters, a fighter and a wizard. His wizard will cast immune to fire on the fighter. The fighter will go charging into battle. We'll just toss fireballs at him, and he's immune to that shit. So, like, everything around him is dying. So
oh my!
That's been working pretty well.
All right.
But we've also been playing Torchlight 2, which was a nice little surprise. My same group of friends that I played Diablo 3 with whom I played Diablo 3, the ones that felt kind of jaded on it, they were like, fuck it, let's try Torchlight 2. And I was like, that sounds cool. I always wanted to play it. And it's been supremely enjoyable. There's been a lot of things that I've noticed are quite different from Diablo 3. I mean, the similarities are uncanny. I mean, It was pretty much made as a response to Diablo 3.
It was, yeah.
But not in a bad way. I think there were a lot of things that differentiate them, and there were a lot of times where I think to myself, man, that's a cool feature. I wish they would have done that in Diablo, or vice versa. Man, I missed this feature from Diablo, so I don't really have a good idea on which one I like more.
Well, I would say it's just a separate game.
It is.
I mean, it's an amazing game. I've played through Torchlight 2 once, and I loved it. I thought it was very good.
I've been enjoying it a lot so far, and the friends with whom I'm playing, who walked off, who after we beat Diablo 3 had very negative opinions on it, have had pretty positive things to say about this so far. So if nothing else, I hope it's an avenue for me to play this type of game with these friends of mine.
I'll say Diablo 3 has come a long ass way.
It has.
From where it originated from.
Oh yes.
This season has bested the previous season by 100%. There's still shit that we're finding out. Today, Kyle sent me a crazy thing that he found, which was that there's this cube now.
Yeah.
It's Korenai's cube, and basically it allows you to transmogrify, or not transmogrify. It allows you to transmute weapons.
Yep.
Into it allows you to take their abilities and stuff like that and make them passives.
Uh-huh.
But one thing that Blizzard didn't tell us was that if you sometimes some weapons have a special thing that they do. That if you just put the weapon in there by itself and you accidentally hit transmute, something might happen. So today, a couple people found something out, which was that there's this ring called Puzzle Ring, and what it is there's a goblin that follows you when you equip it.
I think I've seen that,
Yeah, so the goblin will follow you, and he'll pick up white items, so he'll pick up common items.
Okay.
Once he picks up enough of them, he'll drop an item, and it's usually
I remember that one,
usually like a rare item, sometimes a legendary. If you put that in the Korenai's cube and you transmute it, it disintegrates it, but it also opens up a portal to the Goblin Lair, which is so amazing to find. Have you ever been to one? Like, have you ever experienced that? It was I think 2 seasons ago is when they initiated it. Or maybe
I don't know. I probably haven't, honestly.
Basically, it's a portal that has a chance to open when you kill a goblin, treasure goblin.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay, I've not seen it.
And you go to their place, which is just filled with gold. Yeah. Millions and millions of gold.
That sounds wonderful.
So with transmuting that item has a 100% chance to open that portal right then there for you.
Nice. Oh, that sounds delicious.
And then the other one that another one found was that there's a legendary called Bovine Rapier.
Of course. I hope it's the cow, yeah.
Yes,
I
think it is.
Okay.
Yeah. If you transmute it, you can guess what happens.
I think I can.
You get sent to a very magical place.
Yes. That sounds awesome.
So, and it's actually currently one of the cow level, you can obtain getting to the cow level in the game. You can run around and collect all the items. Or if you have a Bovine Rapier, you
do it this way.
And you don't want to use it anymore, you can just throw it into the transmute and
bada bing, bada boom, yep. I like it. Adam knows what's up, by the way. Torchlight 2, baby. And that's the thing. I also want to play Torchlight 1. I've heard it was a little Diablo-esque in that you would have like the first 5 levels or this time, the next 5 levels or this time. Like I heard it was a little bit more rigid, but I still want to play it just because I've always heard it's a great game. But yeah,
I think I've only played Torchlight 2. Okay. I do enjoy it though. Yeah. The flow of Torchlight 1 was no co-op. Okay.
What do you think about Blizzard giving rewards in other games of theirs? Hearthstone. Actually, I think Justin could probably answer this better.
100 Hearthstone wins gives you mounts, items, in other games and vice versa. I honestly don't know want to play this season in D3, but here's the story, I want the mount. Okay, I get what you're saying. Basically, yeah, it's a marketing scheme by Blizzard, so it's fully understandable. They want people to play their other games. So I can totally get that, but it's also a bonus for the people who already play the games, which a lot of the time, the majority of the people that do play Blizzard games technically play almost all of their games.
There's a lot of cross-pollination,
I think. So I think it's a gift to the players that are already there, but I can see it as being used as like a marketing way, being like, hey, if you do this in Hearthstone, you get this thing. When Hearthstone first released, it was back whenever Mr. Pandaria was out in WoW. They had a promo going on where if you played and you won 3 games in Hearthstone, you got a Hearthsteed, you got a mount.
Oh,
right. So
interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't know. I'm fully on board the Blizzard train, but yeah, no, I totally get it. People don't like D3. Totally understandable.
Yeah.
It's not a game for everybody. It is endless grinding. That is what Diablo is. Once you get done with the story, that is all you got. I just hope it doesn't bleed heavily into the Overwatch. Not a fan of... okay, I get what you're saying. Honestly, it's probably going to.
There probably will, yeah. Knowing Blizzard.
Yeah, it's going to, probably. But I'm very excited about Overwatch. I'm excited for the competitiveness of Overwatch, I think.
It looks cool.
I love Team Fortress 2. Is incredibly near and dear to my heart, but I like that Overwatch is a mandatory 6-for-6.
Yeah.
I like that there is constraints on how many people can be on each team, so it kind of it doesn't give you more variation, but it allows you to become more masterful at whatever class you decide to play. So I played D3, just got over the grinding and moved on to StarCraft 2 and MOBAs. Okay, I get you.
Yeah,
I get you.
And Overwatch, I don't know. I'm trying to withhold judgment. It looks like the Team Fortress 2 comparisons are unavoidable. It to me almost resembles more of a MOBA. It's like Team Dota Fortress 2.
It is.
Like
not
a bad way, but no. The gameplay resembles.
But in order, I think in
order
to be supremely competitive, and I think in order to get into that not MLG, but to get into like a super competitive scene, you need like a standardization.
Oh yeah.
And I think MOBAs are if you take a model of a MOBA, you can kind of understand how that's a super competitive game because they've narrowed down all the items. They've narrowed down what you can do. They've limited the teams. So
it's about as competitive as it gets.
Right. It's about as competitive as it gets.
Yeah. These types of like MOBAizing other games is not a trend that we're gonna stop seeing anytime soon. So because it's popular and it fucking works.
It does.
What can you do?
Would you rather Overwatch go more towards a playful game like TF2, which is casual, and more serious game like StarCraft with ranking competition?
I would prefer the former just because I don't like competitive games. I don't like MOBAs. Right. So I'm very biased.
I like competitive games, so that's just my way of saying it. But I love Team Fortress, and I love the style of Team Fortress. I love the playfulness of Team Fortress. I like the custom maps, like everything that everyone does. But I find myself all the time wanting to be very competitive when it comes to games. So
Yep. And I know a lot of people that
League does it best. Shut up.
I mean, I'm not gonna stake my claim, but yes, I know many a person that has an opinion on that matter.
Oh yes.
Oh man, and it really, and I know that it kind of had the lay of the land for a while, I guess, until Dota 2 came out, and while it was in beta, League of Legends pretty much was.
I mean, Heroes of New Earth was kind of there, but
was it?
No. League of Legends kind of crushed that.
Yeah, so I mean, they were the kings for a while, and they really refined their shit. So I mean, it's, even though I'm not a fan of it, it's pretty good shit. I can most definitely agree.
Right. I would say that Dota 2 is more punishing than League of Legends, but I mean, it's not. Do
you like Coke? Or do you like Pepsi?
Exactly. That's pretty much how it goes. So, hey, what's up, the Jacob? How's it going, man?
Let's see, man.
Oh, anything else?
Topics.
I have been so lazy on the topics, Alex.
Gosh,
I apologize.
Justin. Gosh.
I have been incredibly lazy on them. Did you put these in this week?
Maybe.
Okay.
I might have.
Okay, so there's a good one on here. Game-ending fake-outs. But wait, there's more.
Yep.
So games that you think are ending, but they don't.
But yeah, the like, yep, everything's wrapping up, then either a plot twist, there's more to come, or something basically happens where like all signs point to, all right, about to be done, and oh shit, I'm only halfway through, being either a good thing or a bad thing.
I think the number one game in my mind that does this so great, and it actually got me the first time I played it, is fucking Portal 1. Whenever they're getting ready to put you into the fucking incineration.
That's a really good one. I hadn't even thought about that
and all of a sudden you're like, oh, no, I can... yeah, I can navigate this area. And I wasn't even thinking about it. And
that's brilliant.
Yeah, so...
I hadn't even thought about that one. Yeah, that's a really good suggestion. Or discussion, rather.
What was on your mind?
I remember... And I'm gonna lose some gaming street cred, some nerd cred. So bear with me. Don't hate me too bad, but I've never played Symphony of the Night, Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Right. Okay.
And a lot of people say that is the Castlevania.
I have never played it.
And okay, so we can both
bond over that.
We can both share our shame, our shared shame, in never playing Symphony of the Night. But a lot of people say it is the Castlevania game, and it looks and sounds like it is the Castlevania game. It looks like an absolute masterpiece. And I've heard all these wonderful things about it, but there have been some criticisms on it. And one of the criticisms is, I guess it's the halfway point. I don't know for sure. So people in the audience, feel free to correct me. But from what I understand, is that the halfway point of the game is like you think it's the ending, you beat the boss, and then whoa, the castle flips upside down, and you have to play through it again. Well, not play through it again, but you have to get to, I guess, the other side, or get to the find the real big bad boss in an upside down castle, which means there's it was designed in such a way where you're obviously you have to be able to navigate. They wouldn't just throw that at you and be like, all right, you're good, buddy, and not have the ability to navigate, because in Symphony of the Night you're playing as Dracula, so you can transform into a bat and do the little flying thing. But from what I've heard from other people is that part of the game is kind of a low point because it's a lot slower to navigate as a bat, a little bit more tedious. So in some ways it was seen as kind of a not exactly a cop-out, but as a way to extend the game's lifespan, not exactly synthetically, but as a kind of an easier way of doing so, rather than designing a whole slew of new levels. We'll just do a mirror thing and just call it a day. So I know that for a lot of people it was ooh, that's awesome. I have I've just played through this entire badass game. This game's a fucking masterpiece. I think I'm done, and now the game's rewarding me by saying, oh shit, son, you got more game to play. Fuck yeah! And then I start playing it, and I'm like, I kind of like the first half better, but still, it's more Castlevania, so I can't complain. But I remember seeing stuff about that and thinking to myself, man, that sounds like it'd be pretty cool. Another example that I've experienced firsthand, and I don't know if this happens with all of them, but a couple of the Tales of series, so Tales of Fantasia or Tales of Symphonia are the two
I have not played either.
And I don't necessarily blame them. They're it's a fairly popular series.
Yeah.
I would say that Fantasia is probably the most popular of all of them, but even still, it's never gonna, as far as JRPGs go, it's never gonna reach the upper echelons of popularity like Final Fantasy or Secret of Mana. But
I don't doubt they're good games.
They are, and both Fantasia and Symphonia had similar kind of antics where you were given a quest. you spend a lot of time to get to that quest objective. You complete that quest objective only to realize the true intentions of that quest. The actual world opens up, the curtain is thrown, and you see all the stuff happening behind the scenes. Then now the real quest begins. And what throws me with that is that, like, as I hinted, these are not like 8-hour quests. These are like 50-hour quests. These are it's like that's a fucking game right there. You could just package that into a game, and that's a $50 game right there. But no, it'd be like, all right, do 50 hours worth of questing, realize the true mission or the true quest, and then you do the rest of the game, which is going to probably pushing the triple digits of game time. So it's you get what you pay for with the Tales of game. But yeah, and I don't know, like I said, I don't know if all of the Tales of games do that, but the two that I've played were like, bam, motherfucker, plot twist. And at least, but in that case, to me, it was all positive, because like I said, assuming that you have the stomach for it, I've just spent all this time playing this game and thoroughly enjoyed it, and then think that I've reached the end. Oh shit, there's more to do, more spells to unlock, more monsters to fight. Fuck yeah, I didn't want to sleep tonight anyway, so it works out.
I think a good game that you kind of, one that I've played recently, which was Persona 4, they have the possibility, you have the possibility to end the game early. So if you guess, because it's technically a murder mystery game, if you guess the person who, the culprit wrong, the game just ends.
Yep.
So, I mean, I could see where people would play that. Like, if I was younger and I didn't know anything about the game, I bet I would have stopped there and I'd been like, okay, well, I guess I'll replay the game. That's just...
like, you're missing out, man.
But yeah, I think for me, Portal is the big one.
That's a really good example of that, because...
I literally thought it was done. I was like, wow, this is a short game. And then all of a sudden I was like, no, it's not over, man.
It's not over.
Because you can literally die there and you can just reset and it'll put you at the beginning of the fire.
Yeah.
And keep pushing you down. And
it's
like,
this is it, buddy.
It's like, what the fuck am I doing?
Accept your fate, or look at that wall above the catwalk. I'd just like to point out Adam's comment about Coke or Pepsi. Now, it doesn't matter. You're gonna piss someone off, regardless of your action. You're gonna get murdered. Yeah. Rainbow Six Siege. I can't remember. Was it you, Jacob, that we discussed a little bit about Rainbow Siege last time?
I think so. I want to say there was either him or another Jacob.
But yeah, I know we talked about it a little bit. I think it looks fucking cool. Actually, I did see shortly before I left to work to come here, as I was checking my email, that there's a new Humble Bundle. It's a Rainbow, or it's a Tom Clancy themed Humble Bundle. If you pay any amount, you get a key to the... I think it's any amount. You get a key to the multiplayer beta for Rainbow Six Siege. And if you go in for the super high tier, which is all the games, plus a t-shirt, plus some cool discounts, plus a pre-order of Rainbow Six Siege, it's like $75, I think. So it's a pretty penny, but you get a lot of shit for it. So for the pre-order, but that includes pretty much every fucking Tom Clancy game ever made. So yeah, pretty cool. And I don't know. I'll have to double check when I get home to see if it would be worthwhile for me. There's a good chance I already have most of these games.
So if you pay more than $7, you even get the Splinter Cell games.
Yeah. So it looks to be a pretty solid. Yeah, if you've never played or never picked up any of the Tom Clancy games of yore, or at least the newer ones, then and by newer I mean Xbox, PlayStation 2 era and on, then I would totally check that shit out.
Yeah.
So, since last time I haven't really looked or seen much more about Rainbow Six Siege, but my excitement for it is still pretty high.
I haven't looked at anything about it, I will say. I probably need to.
I mean, like I think last time I did the comparison between that and Payday, and just how they play is similar.
Yeah,
so
similar.
I think that to me is what draws me to it. I think if I wasn't obsessing over Payday 2 like I have been for the last 2 years of my life, then I probably wouldn't be as excited about Siege as I am. But I don't know. I think it looks pretty dang cool.
I just wish I could have a shield in Payday. I wish I could just carry one around.
Knowing the developers, they'll add a shield and they'll make it as a melee weapon that only functions as a melee weapon, kind of like the Wad of Cash. Whoopah! Why not? That's how it happens.
Does that even do anything?
It damages them slightly, and it has pretty good knockdown. So if you want to knock someone on their ass,
really,
yep, yeah, it shows the stats for them.
Yes,
so it's not completely useless, but it's it's free for a reason, I suppose.
Yeah, right now I'm working on getting the saw for my offhand.
Ooh,
so that
that's
I can.
Fun.
Well, once I am able to get it, then I'll respec and go get it only for the secondary.
Yeah,
because having a saw as a primary is a very big burden.
It is. It is. It's a fun.
It's so awesome, though.
It is fun.
Literally, just cut open those fucking lockboxes.
Or their faces.
Yes.
I mean,
and I think it works with my ammo perk, where if I lay down an ammo pack,
it does. Yep.
I have that infinite for 15 seconds.
For a couple seconds. I believe it works like that. I believe. I would have to double check.
I'm gonna have to verify now.
I'd have to double check, but I think it did at one point at least.
As far as games, I can't think of any more.
Yeah, just the fake out. And I guess as I hinted, like, it could be a positive or a negative. Like in the case of Symphony of the Night, it kind of have like that dual, like, that's cool, but like now the navigation is a little bit awkward, or maybe as long as it doesn't come off as like feeling like they needed, like, oh shit, our game's too short, we need a way to extend the lifespan. Well, let's just make a little mirror world or something like that,
right.
Or like using Mario Kart as an example, the final cup is always the mirror cup, or I guess the mirror difficulty rather, not the cup, but like where the levels are reversed. So I see that as kind of a similar type of thing. So I mean, they can be good. They can be a good thing, or I suppose a neutral thing, because I mean, there's nothing is forcing you to keep, to play the story from there on. But I guess if you really want to see the end of the game, then it kind of is. But yeah, there's good implementations of it. Portal is a fantastic example of the fake out ending of, you thought you were done, motherfucker, looks like you got more to do. Strap on your Portal boots, more shit to do.
Speaking of more shit to do, New Game Plus you had on there.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of New Game Plus.
Yes.
I do really like it. I liked it in the Dark Souls series. I love New Game Plus. I love being able to take I like games that do New Game Plus and you take everything that you already have and you just restart with it.
Yep.
That's what I really like. And kind of
cool.
how you were saying with like the Prestige when I was asking you as far as going, what is it called in this in Payday?
Going Infamous.
Infamous. So if you go Infamous, you still get all your stuff.
Your
you still
equipment,
get all your equipment.
Yep. Masks.
I love that about games. I like when they reward you like that, being like, oh, well, why don't we play through the game again? But hey, how about this time? How about it's a little easier?
Yeah.
A little more fun right off the beginning, and you get, you can destroy those fucking enemies right in the beginning with,
with your ridiculous items. Shit. Yeah.
And Borderlands is a pretty good title that does it. I love the fact that when the story ends, you weren't max level.
Yeah.
Right? And so they were like, oh, go back and play New Game Plus to finish off your leveling, and then you can do the DLC packs and stuff like that. But when you went back and like defeating those early enemies with all the fucking inventory you have, you're just like, oh my god, this is awesome.
Delicious.
Like, it was really fun. I do like the idea of New Game Plus.
Yeah. Well, in the case of Dark Souls, as an example, I think they do it well where, kind of like you mentioned, you start off and you're just cleaving through this shit. You beat that Asylum Demon like he's a fucking chump, and you just keep going. And then like you hit the gargoyles and like, oh, that was kind of tough. And then you get to fucking Blighttown. I mean, Blighttown's miserable no matter what level you are or how high a level you are in response to the area. But like, you start going through. It's like, man, this game is fucking like I don't remember having this much difficulty previously. And that's because like a New Game Plus, everything is doubled, including enemy life and damage. So like, it starts off easier, but like it ends way harder, and then you can go for New Game Plus and it just keeps racking them up. And I love that implementation of it. I mean, I enjoy that like, when you beat a game, typically it's a tough final boss. It's probably a good challenge. You might have died a couple times, so it's cathartic, I suppose, would be the word to describe it. Like to be able to just beat the shit out of little lowly enemies and reclaim some sense of pride that you might have lost with the ass beating from the previous boss. So I think that's a good balance between the two. And you mentioned some games where it's like you maintain all of your stuff, but nothing else about the game has changed. Tales of Symphonia actually had a New Game Plus where I think it was like that, where you started back at level 1, but you had all of your skills and all of your spells, which was kind of hilarious. So like, I would have my spellcaster character set on AI, like set the AI just to kind of figure their own shit out, just because, whatever, I trust them to figure their shit out. And like, he'd be like casting Indignation at like level 1. And for those who don't know, Indignation is like, I think the highest level spell in the game, in most of the Tales of series. And like, he's casting this on like this level 1 little piddly monsters who die within one hit, which is partly funny and doubly funny because it just expends all of his mana. So it's like, cast that one thing! Alright, I'm just gonna sit back here and let you guys figure the rest of it out for the next 20 encounters so I can build up my mana back up. So it was funny, but there were times where it's like, okay, I actually have to manually control his ass because he's just gonna blow all his shit right from the get-go. So, I mean, that was a unique implementation I suppose. But talking about Diablo, I think that's another good example.
Yeah.
All the different difficulties, because
yes,
like you mentioned, like I used Diablo 2 as an example. Like when you beat Diablo 2 on normal difficulty, could probably be in level 20 to 25, maybe level 30. But there's a good chance you haven't unlocked all your skills yet, all your spells, and you got some good gear to get, and oh man, Nightmare difficulty's got some cool shit too, so might as well. You're not
Diablo, Diablo 3, it took me, it was well into the third playthrough on my original, on vanilla Diablo 3.
1.0.
Yeah, I think it was like 3, once you got through, so it was normal, Nightmare, Hell, and then Inferno, right?
Yep.
So I think in Hell is when you finally hit the max.
Your max shit, yep. Max level 60 at the time, and you get all of your abilities. Yeah, it was a different time.
Can you, do you know what this man is saying, Mr. Darkheart?
So you can find Tetra. Oh. Well, just an amalgamation of Zelda things, which, I mean...
Alright.
You're talking to the right guy. I fucking love Zelda. Yeah. Well, and with... I guess in that vein, there was in the original Legend of Zelda, I don't know if you would quite call it a New Game Plus, but there was I guess, what do they call it, the new quest or second quest, where, what were the parameters for it? Was it like enemies were twice as difficult and like the dungeons were reversed? I can't remember exactly what the second quest entailed, but it was unique. It was
right,
and I don't think you carried your equipment over. I think it was a clean slate, but kind of a New Game Plus. I mean, I would count that in the discussion.
Right. Like Persona does New Game Plus, but the way that it does it is that you have secondary skills, which are like your skills to be able to communicate with people and stuff like that. So it's like your charisma and stuff like that. That stuff will actually remain, and so when you restart, it's easier to get social links. Funny thing about Persona is that you cannot do everything in one playthrough.
Yep.
You literally are forced to do the second playthrough.
Oh yes.
So.
That's how they do it sometimes.
Physically impossible. If you started with a guide that was like 100%, you would not be able to complete it with one playthrough.
2 runs. Yeah.
You would have to do it in the second.
Yep. And I think that's how a lot of games probably do it. I mean, in a way, that's how Dark Souls did it with the multiple ending. So it all comes back to Dark Souls.
Absolutely.
Like all things.
Everything comes back to death.
Dark Souls and death. Potato.
One thing you put on here, and I had something funny to say about it, was physical game disc versus download codes.
Yes, you might have wondered what prompted me to put that on there.
Oh, was it that? That was fucking killing me. So, Metal Gear Solid 5
came out today
for PC. For everyone.
I would assume for everyone simultaneously.
Maybe people just got them super early to review.
Oh, well, yeah, that's usually how it goes. Like, usually at least a week in advance.
Well, because I've been watching gameplays of it for the past week.
Well, was it like streamers and stuff like that? Yeah, they'd be getting advanced copies then.
Okay. Anyways, yes. Yeah. So Metal Gear Solid released today.
Yep.
If you got a physical copy of Metal Gear Solid 5, and you were like, man, I have a really fucking shitty connection. This download's huge for PC.
Just gonna install from a disc.
I'm gonna install from the disc, and you bought the disc. Well, when you got it, the physical disc itself had 8.7 megabytes on it, and it was the fucking Steam installer. It was so you could install Steam, which will then download the game.
That's just awesome. You can't make this shit up. You really can't.
That Left 4 Dead did that exact same thing to me when I bought it back in the day. I bought Left 4 Dead because at the time I was living with my dad, and he decided to get AT&T DSL.
Gross.
It's extremely gross, but obviously I wasn't paying for it at the time.
Yeah.
So I had to suffer the 2.5 meg download.
2.5 megs.
And I had been blessed with Charter already. My dad went for this for financial reasons. He was like, it's cheaper to go with AT&T. They're going to give me internet for like $10. I was like, okay. So we went from having like a 60 meg connection to 2.5. Okay, and he was not happy with it either, but he kind of suffered with it because it was only $10 a month. Anyways, so I had that, and I was like, I really like Left 4 Dead. I want to get it because like a lot of my friends have it, and so I went up to Best Buy. Bought the physical copy. I actually have the case right over there. I could show you. Went up to Best Buy, bought the physical copy, and put it in the computer, and it said, "Oh, Steam installer." Woo-hoo! It was like, we already have Steam on your machine, and then all it did was immediately put Left 4 Dead into my library and start the download.
Get at it. Hop to it. Yeah. It's not, obviously, as much as you want to see if you can find it.
I want to see if I can find it.
As much as we like to hate on Konami for completely legitimate reasons, it's hard to hate on them exclusively for this, because this is not the first time this shit has happened, which is pretty fucking good. I mean, I find it entertaining, but there are some.
Probably have it in my closet.
Okay, yeah. There are implications, because like you mentioned, for those who have shitty internet connections, I remember I was reading. Can't remember what it was, but they called out like the point of like people who live in Australia. They have very restrictive download services and whatnot. So there are legitimate reasons why you would want a physical copy, and to me it's like, man, that's so fucking wasteful. I understand doing the physical copy because you want to have it in retail stores. That's fine, but why like go through all of the packaging costs? Like on Konami, well, yeah, probably on Konami's end. I guess they would have to front the cost of burning the CDs to only have 8 whole megabytes. I mean. It seems so wasteful on their part. I'm not talking about the hippy dippy like harm the environment of all the plastics and shit. I mean I'm a liberal piece of shit, so of course I think that, but I'm not going to say that. But yeah, it's like it just seems like such an oddball way of doing it. It seems like I don't know. Maybe they were in a hurry and they just didn't want to fuck with it. But I don't know. It seems so odd. What an odd decision.
Alex, would it make you happy to know that I don't use K-cups anymore, and that I actually use a refillable cup?
It makes you feel a little better.
Okay.
On my drive home tonight in my Prius, while sipping my biodegradable Starbucks cup with my Obama Biden sticker, I don't.
Keep going.
Only one of those 3 things is true. In all fairness, but yeah.
Is The Last of Us on the bottom shelf? Actually,
it completely is.
It is. It's actually the PS4 box for Last of Us.
Good shit.
And then there's an Ant-Man poster down here as well.
Also good shit. I actually have an interesting thing I'd like to share, just because I think I've mentioned my fangirling over the Red Super A guys, the Slow Beef and Diabetes, who've been doing Let's Play stuff and just in general, like they both did Let's Play things way back in the day before Let's Plays were really a thing. A lot of people credit Slow Beef as like being the person who started it, and he hates that title, but yeah, what are you gonna fucking do? But they do a lot of stuff on their channel now. They do lots of collabs, and they've been going for several years, and they're really good at what they do. They're really entertaining, and every once in a while they'll do something that's just like, dude, that's so fucking cool. So they did like a I guess a panel or a Q&A at RTX Rooster Teeth Expo, and they had a table set up for to do autographs, and they had people stop by, and they had people fill out a questionnaire, which they completely tongue-in-cheek referred to as like a marketing strategy, or marketing. I can't remember the phrase they used, but like some sort of cheesy, oddball, buzzword-laden phrase of saying trying to get a feel for the market and all that bullshit.
Okay.
And had people answer questions, and throughout the panel they would call up names. It's yeah, so you there were 2 big cases here where it says here that you're a big fan of the Dark Souls series. It's yeah. Actually, no, I'll tell that one second. The first one was so it says here that you want to get into Let's Plays, but you're unable to. Is that right? The guy's yeah. It's why aren't you able to? It's because I don't have a capture card. He's do you want to know what's in my hand right now? The dude's no fucking way, and hands him an Elgato HD, which is $200.
Yeah, that's...
So, and of course the whole crowd was dude, you guys are fucking awesome. And they're yeah, what the fuck ever. And then it gets towards the end of it, and call up a second, draw a second name. It's yeah, so it says here you're a big fan of the Dark Souls series. Guy's yeah. He's have you played fucking Bloodborne? And the dude's no. He's oh, why you haven't played Bloodborne? I don't have a PS4. It's oh yeah, well I'm gonna be a really big fucking tease. Here's a copy of Bloodborne. The dude's oh, cool, thanks, man. He's actually I got a second game. You want it? It's yeah. He's yeah. It's The Last of Us, but it's in a big. The box is kind of big. You think you can make it? It's yeah, probably. Boom, motherfucking PS4.
Holy shit.
That big edition. And I'm just Jesus fucking Christ. That's so fucking cool. So I'm just
That's awesome.
Like that validates these guys as being the coolest motherfuckers ever. So, so what I'm saying is, stop watching us right now. Just shut off Twitch and never visit us again. And just go watch Red Super A. They're way more funny and way more generous. Way funnier, way more generous, way more talented than we'll ever achieve. Aspire to be.
Okay, I'm having a giveaway right now. We're doing one. This trash can. Whoever wants it, can actually have the contents inside of it.
He's lying. He's lying. That's where I live. I live in Justin's. I live in Justin's trash can. That's why we're always on time. We're in Justin's place. We're late. We're at my place because I have to drive over. My place, if we call it that. But yeah. So that when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's such a cool fucking story to tell. These guys are so cool. So yeah, Red Super A. They're fucking awesome. That wasn't on the topic list. I just wanted to.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to fangirl.
Is that why it's on there? I see it right now.
I wanted to fangirl. I wanted to have nerd fangasms over how fucking cool those guys are.
So which one do you prefer? Do you prefer physical disc or do you prefer the downloads? We go in technology.
I'm betraying by my shitty tendencies with music, but I prefer digital. I prefer digital.
I prefer digital except for collector's edition things.
Yeah.
I am a sucker for those. I don't have many of them, but when I do get them, they make me happy on the inside.
Happy on the inside and the outside, ladies.
And I do like having physical copies because I like displaying them.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah.
So.
It can be fun. And there are certain games where you kind of want the physical.
I wish, man. Hard copies.
Text that.
Type packs for Hearthstone packs.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but you're not going to get anything good because I've never got anything good out of a fucking pack. So, but fucking Kyle over here opens one pack, gets fucking 3 legendaries, and then doesn't chance all of them because he's already got it. So yeah.
Yeah, but you're not bitter. Nope, not one bit.
Not at all. Not at all bitter about your Tyrion 4 drinks, Kyle. You fucking bastard.
Yeah. It sounds like Eric's more of a hard copy kind of guy, physical copy kind of guy.
Oh yeah.
Like there are some games, like if it's a Zelda game, I'm gonna buy the hard copy. Like if it's a game I really care about, gonna get the hard copy.
The majority of the games I buy are digital, like 80%. But there's that 20% that are games that I would like to have a physical copy. Like I'm sure when Final Fantasy VII finally comes out, I'm gonna want to have. Oh, I'll probably get the fucking collector's edition that I guarantee they'll have. But
it's gonna happen.
I would want a physical copy of that because that's a game that I thoroughly enjoy, and I want to just put it up on my bookshelf and let it sit there in all its glory.
Ah, delicious glory. And of course, there are certain consoles like the Wii U doesn't have, its hard drive isn't particularly large. So if you have a fuck ton of games, then it would behoove you to either get an external hard drive to store the extra stuff, or just buy physicals. So I mean, there are cases where it makes sense to get physicals, or if you're into retro games. You are almost that's not true. There's virtual consoles and stuff, but in a lot of cases, you're kind of limited to only going the physical route. But I don't know. It's different for everybody. I hope that. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Go ahead. so much pressure. I was just gonna say. I hope that. I mean, it seems like physical copies, like retail physical boxes, aren't nearly as prevalent anymore. In fact, a lot of people kind of got their panties in a tizzy when Nintendo filed a patent. For a console that has no disk drive, and people were like, "Oh, should they go on digital only?"
That's right.
And people were like, "Maybe," or it could mean that it's not going to be that. So, I mean, we don't.
Right.
If you got yourself in a tizzy for every time they filed a patent for something like that, you would have had 3 heart attacks by now. So,
if they're filing a patent for not having a hard drive or not having a
disk drive, I mean, well, maybe flash memory only, baby.
Hey, I'd take it.
That'd be cool.
That would be awesome. I'm sure it's not very... I mean, obviously...
Give it a couple years.
Obviously, the next consoles will no longer have... I am going to go ahead and say that the next consoles will not have a fucking spinning disk drive.
He's called it.
They're going to have flash memory. Because, who is it? Samsung making the fucking... Just absolute discovery after discovery for fucking...
It's pretty awesome.
Flash memory. I mean, what are they up to now? They're up to fucking 11 terabytes
That's disgusting.
Of flash memory on one single device.
That's just gross. That's offensive.
You know how hard it is to get 11 terabytes out of a disk? You can't.
You don't.
You don't.
That's how you do it. You don't. You fucking
flash
don't.
Flash memory has officially surpassed what a disk drive can. Now, price-wise, sure. Yeah, it's expensive right now.
We'll get there, though.
But we'll get there. It's going to drop down.
As it has been.
And, it's Katie, not you. Okay, that's fine. Maybe I should get fucking Amanda open my packs. Maybe then I'll get legendaries.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, with physicals, I hope they don't go away. Because I I think there's a lot of reason for physical copies, even though it seems like digital is kind of the law of the land, and I mean motherfucking Steam and Origin and GOG and all these digital only distribution services. But I don't know. I'll always have a place in my heart for the physical copies, if not just for, like you say, put it on display. You can admire a physical collection, and I'm that way with music. Justin has seen a sliver of my disgusting CD addiction.
The first time I was
shameful.
at Alex's house, he was guiding me back to his
dungeon, his sex dungeon,
the
sex dungeon where I do all my recording,
with lots of swings and stuff. And then on the way down there, there was just a slew of fucking physical CDs.
Yep.
I was like, oh, where do these come from? And then I realized that I'm looking at an album that released this year, and I was like,
people still make those?
I was like, I think I asked you.
Yeah,
I said, do people still make real CDs?
They totally do.
And I think that was your answer. Was they totally do?
They totally do, and I totally buy them like a fucking sucker. We got some legitimate. Oh my god. Yeah. That's what I aim to do is to shock and please ladies. But I'm the complete opposite with music. I much prefer to have physical copies, and I don't know why. I don't know why I have such a boner for physical copies of music, and the opposite for video games.
Is it because you prefer to buy albums instead of the individual songs?
I definitely am an album-based consumer. I thoroughly believe that an album is it's not just a collection of songs, but it's a representation of what that artist was creating at that time.
There are only a few artists that I actually buy full albums for.
Yeah.
So I am definitely a song buy person. So when iTunes came out or when Zune came out, I think Zune was the original one that ruined me, because I had a Zune before I had anything Apple. I wanted to be the outcast. I had a Zune.
R.I.P.
It was actually it was probably the best device I've ever owned.
They were cool.
Zunes were incredibly awesome. They were very sturdy. They could play fucking just amazing quality videos on it.
Yeah.
They were stock 30 gig. So
at the time, that's pretty fucking good.
That was good at the time, yeah. So I mean, I filled it up, obviously, but what Zune had that what Apple didn't have at the time was they had the first ever subscription-based music platform, which was you paid $11 a month. You could download all the music that they had licenses for.
Yeah.
And you could put it on your Zune. As long as you as long as you had the subscription, you could put it on there, and they gave you 5 credits every month that you could officially own the song. So when you canceled your subscription, you would still have those songs that you actually purchased.
That's pretty slick.
They did really well, but obviously Apple dominated that fucking market. And I got my Zune stolen out of my car. So
I remember you told me that story.
Oh, it was so depressing.
Yeah. R.I.P.
I miss it so much, but yeah, I think that's what ruined me, was having the Zune, because I was able to then download these playlists that were just individial songs, and I would put them on my Zune, listen to the playlists that were just songs, not full albums, and that's what ruined me. And then once I got an iPhone, I just went to town about fucking downloading single songs, Spotify,
streaming services. You don't even have to download it; it's just a streaming service right there. And so maybe someday I would say go over that dark side. But
that's why I'm a single man.
Single man. Ladies.
No, just kidding. I'm taken.
Yeah. Gentlemen. Yeah. No.
Gentlemen. Would you like to go to Alex's dungeon?
Alex's sex dungeon.
Full of
put into Google Alex's sex dungeon.
Swings and fucking bananas.
That's all I have. That's just potassium and momentum. That's all I need. I'm a simple man with simple pleasures, simple needs.
What are we running at? We at 53.
Do one little mini topic.
Yeah, so let's just do
bite size topic.
Let's just end on a good note. What are some? Did we do this?
We have not.
Okay, good. What are some positive gaming communities? Like something that you associate with, that are positive. I'll just go ahead and say that.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Extra Life is a great positive community.
Good shit.
And I love everyone who's associated with it. I think Extra Life is probably one of the best communities out there as far, or anything with the summer games done quick people, awesome games done quick. Good I love those communities. Awesome people. What about you, Alex?
Well, I put the topic on there just because when people think gaming communities, they think the shitty ones. They think League of Legends, they think Dota 2, they think...
Actually, the funny thing is I didn't even think of those.
Well, I mean, just when people say gaming communities, just in general.
Before...
Not League... Oh, yes! Yes! I love that shit! Woo! Love it! But,
holy shit!
Yeah, so case in point, yeah, it's people always think of the negative, and you know, we talk about a lot of negative topics on here. Like, we like to complain, we like to bitch and moan about shit, but it's good to have, you know, the positive side of things, too. So I like to call out, if not games that have positive communities, but at least, like, whether it be charitable organizations or message boards or websites, anything that has some sort of positive light to it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you know, you're always going to have the shitheads in any community. It's never going to be 100% pure and pristine, because if you do, then it doesn't exist. But,
thanks,
no worries, D-Man.
No worries, D-Man.
Better late than never.
I see what you've done. You just marked our email as spam.
I knew it. No, it's all good, man.
You have been missed.
But yeah, just with the gaming communities that are more positive, and you mentioned a couple really great ones. In my completely unbiased opinion, I think Extra Life is the best fucking thing ever. And anyone who's in Extra Life is an automatic 10 out of 10 cool person that deserves all the sex.
Is this full unbiased?
Completely unbiased.
All right.
100% unbiased. Full disclosure, I'm actually the president for the St. Louis Guild for Extra Life, so I might have a slight proclivity towards it, but yeah, that's cool shit. I mean, that's why I got involved.
I saw Reddit's post today about their Extra Life team.
Awesome.
Officially getting that started.
That's what I love to hear. I love to see that shit. You mentioned awesome like the games done quick community.
Yeah.
Or I guess just speedrunning communities in general. I mean, man, the games done quick marathons are such excellent examples of that. I mean, man, not only do you have a metric butt fuck ton of speedrunners that come together to speedrun these games for a week straight, quite literally, like 24 hours, all 7 days, with awesome incentives and prizes and whatnot. And then you have, of course, the people the suckers like myself that watch so much of it and throw money at it, and it's just such a positive vibe. All of it goes, of course, towards great causes.
Yeah.
It's pretty much exclusively just nothing but positivity and happiness, and trying to show that gaming can be, you know, not just a bunch of sweaty nerds in their basement sitting by themselves,
right?
Like throwing angry epithets at each other on the internet. There's actually positive, you know, good things that it can do for society. So I see that as such an awesome example of that. But at least with games, like more specific games that have positive communities, and I guess I don't know this with 100% certainty, but at least from what I've seen, I would say the Dark Souls community is mostly pretty positive. There will always be the trolls. There will always be shitty invasion encounters. In fact, I haven't, in all fairness, I don't think I've had a good invasion encounter. Most of the invasions that I've been witness to have been like someone who's just trying to grief me, but I like to think that that's a minority.
Hold on, D-Man said there's somebody missing.
There's somebody what?
Yeah, just keep talking.
Just keep talking.
Just keep talking about Extra Life. I'll be right back.
There seems to be hissing from this picture. Oh, missing! I'm sorry, I thought he said hissing, and I was confused. I was like, hissing? Like, is there a problem with the mic? We had mic problems last time, and we had technical issues at the beginning, so I'm a little bit sensitive to technical problems. But, yeah, I don't know. I see the Dark Souls community as being pretty positive. If not just because you can, like, within Dark Souls, it's not... Like, the multiplayer is kind of like pseudo-multiplayer. It's, like, indirect, where you can leave messages for other players who encounter it. So, like, you don't encounter other players, but you encounter the ghosts of other players. And just talking about, like, how Dark Souls multiplayer works. Oh, here we go. We need to. Ooh, this might be a little tricky. Let's. There we go. Alex has joined. In fact, I'm gonna move and give Alex.
Yep.
The actual Alex
the room.
Some room.
So Alex, what do you think?
What do you think? Yeah, he's a little bit nervous. He's a little bit camera shy.
Everyone else but D-Man is like, what the fuck
are they doing? Yeah, what is wrong with these assholes? Yeah. But yeah, with Dark Souls, I see, like, the messages people will leave, and they're usually very hopeful. I mean, you will, of course, see the troll messages of, like, hey, man, if you jump right here, good things will happen. It's just an endless cliff that leads to death. But there was many a secret that I found in the first Dark Souls game only because of the helpful messages people were leaving. So it seems like the good definitely outweighs the bad in the case of the Dark Souls community, which I can appreciate.
I would say the best community ever is the Twitch community. I love everything that they do. I love when I try to join a I try to when I join a fucking chat and all I see are the Kappa faces. Kappa.
PogChamp.
Fucking Twitch chat is a fucking plague. It is a fucking plague, man. I love it. I do love it, and it's terrible.
It's the good kind of terrible.
It is the good kind of terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Did you see there we go. It begins the Kappa
going.
Kappa spams. Oh man, good shit. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And that's sort of the fun things. I mean, I have all of the there we go. Illuminati confirmed, 420, Half-Life 3 confirmed. I mean, I have all the nerd boners for Cherno, I think Cherno, I think is how you pronounce the screen
Chernobyl?
name. Chernobyl. It's a pretty good time. Mm-hmm. Good time, some good radiation. But no, Cherno TV, the streamer, like how he's my favorite streamer. Like he always does a fun thing. Like whenever he gets a new subscriber, he always requests people to raise their PogChamps and their fairies. So the PogChamps is of course an emote spam, and the fairies are like the emote icons that you get when you subscribe to this channel. And like, so it's like, he embraces it where it's like, oh, we got a subscriber, alright, flood the chat, baby, let's get some hype going. And like the hype is just just
that's what you gotta
paragraphs of emotes, which is fun.
It is fun. That's what makes streamers, like, that's what I go to a stream to watch people play games. Like, I can do that. I can definitely watch people play. I like seeing that. But I think the community, as long as it's a small enough community, like, obviously, if you run into a channel that has, like, 25K viewers, you literally aren't talking. Yeah. Because your message is just going to fly off the screen.
You're not going to see
as
shit.
As you say something. And every single person is just spamming emotes.
Yeah.
But if you get into, like, those smaller communities, like, if you get with, a streamer that has, like, 1,000 or like, under 1,000... you can actually have a physical conversation with people. You can get people in it, and it's the community that definitely is what makes it. So
I've made some genuine friends off of Ben Briggs's. He's a musician. We've featured his music on here before, but I've made some genuine friendships off of the regulars that visit his Twitch chat whenever he streams, and it's like, yep, all the regulars here. It's like fucking cheers. Everyone knows your name. So it often is very positive. Talking about the GDQs. That's an example of like the kind of channel where if you go on the Twitch chat, your message is going to get drowned.
It's fucking drowned.
It's lost in the
right. But I imagine if you go to the individual channels,
the IRCs.
Yeah.
Oh well.
No, I'm talking like the individual channel of like the actual streamer.
Yeah.
So if you go to like their channel, I'm sure you could have a better conversation.
Very much so. Yeah.
IRC chat, man. I actually went onto an IRC chat not too long ago, and I actually found out how to do Twitch chat through IRC.
Oh, so. Nice. I haven't seen that. I mentioned IRC because that's the chat. That's like the official chat that the GDQs use when there's a marathon happening, and they usually direct people to that because that's the chat that they read, and because you have to go out of your way to get to it, you're gonna have less troll, bullshittish behavior. So that's my only real experience.
I love IRC still to this day. I think it is an excellent fucking chat platform. I miss using it so often. Oh yes,
laughing at D-Man's comment.
Yes, we do. We need an Alex Class Water remote bad.
Yeah, if we ever get that coveted subscribe button, that'll probably
that will be the number one thing. We will fucking add that. We will get somebody to fucking draw that for us.
Yeah,
a nice glass of water.
I have some artists that can they'd be able to work their magic.
Yes,
some artist friends.
Oh, God,
good shit.
Today has been a great stream. I have enjoyed it. Amazing.
I mean, all streams are equal, are equally wonderful, but yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
Good times.
I will say, before we finish, me and Eric used to watch this streamer, Duck Sauce. We used to watch him. He kind of went off the deep end.
Sounds familiar.
He went off the deep end because he actually moved out to California and is now dating Adrienne Curry.
That name's familiar.
She actually won the first season of America's Top Model, but she's a super geek now. So like, she does a lot of Princess Leia costumes.
Awesome.
So yeah,
good for her.
Right. He went up to deep end when he went out there. So he's kind of
California.
He's slowly trying to make his way back, but we used to
Oh shit! Here we go. Yeah.
No, he's back. It's way better. So it's way better now.
Oh.
So I apparently need to start watching him. Probably resubscribe to him. Love Duck Sauce, and those are obviously the emotes from.
His name is so familiar. Yeah, maybe I've talked to other people.
Me and Eric actually loved watching him play WoW. We that's where he was first. We first found him. It was him playing WoW. I followed him before Eric did, and whenever he lived at his old house with his dog. I don't know, Eric. Do you remember when he was living with his dog? But
when you say Eric was living with his dog, it's like, well, Eric does live with his dog,
yes,
and his wife.
No, but like he had like a dedicated fucking camera to his dog.
A Doge cam.
You just watched it, like you watched his dog as well as watching him stream. So
I kind of want to do that.
He was a very cool thing. Every morning he would start a thing called Morning Coffee. You know, he'd be a morning streamer. Very cool guy.
That's nice.
Went off the deep end. But apparently he's back, so I apparently need to catch back up. But
Redemption.
Yeah, he is definitely one of those people that have an awesome community to like. You go there, you chat, and the people that come there every day are the same people that have come there every single day prior. Like so, and it was great to get to know people. So
good shit.
Yeah,
good shit.
Excellent stream. Today was a success.
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 Christen this stream a success.
How's your water?
It's very
are you getting parched?
Very moist. I love how uncomfortable that word can make people. Moist.
Moist. I'm just waiting. Splash. Maybe that's be our other emote. Maybe Splash will actually just be a moist emote, where it's like a loaf of bread steaming.
Oh man, I think we just devolved.
Yes.
Into this thing.
Anyways,
so we're gonna call it.
We're gonna leave you with some delightful more music from good old Mega Ran. I'm probably gonna buy this album today.
It's fucking good.
The first song we had. What do you know? What the first song was called? We had
Your Favorite Song is the name of the song.
It's literally called Your Favorite Song. I'll post the link for you guys. You guys can actually just enjoy these songs as well.
Buy all of his music.
I don't even know if
awesome
I'm hitting the control button, but yeah, here we go.
Mega Ran, mega fucking awesome.
Anyways, there's the link to his page. Listen to all his previous. Does he have his previous stuff still in there?
Oh yeah,
yeah. So
buy all of his music.
Buy all his music. It's awesome. Great things come from him.
It's really, really fucking good, dude.
It is.
Really good music. Really good. Really cool guy. All the above.
Oh, okay. Anyways, we're gonna leave you with another song by him. Thanks for everybody for coming to the stream and talking and enjoying the glass of water Alex joke. And talking about emotes and all of the other jazz that we talked about today, including how not good the League of Legends community is.
Let's kill it now before we get murdered.
Yes, anyways, thank you guys, and we will talk to you all later.
See you next week.
Oh no. Oh no. There we go.
Damn, I didn't get to do it.
Oh, and there's a train going by.
There it is.
Good day.
You know we all die.
This is fun.
But the goal isn't to live forever, but to create something that will.
2, 3,
Here we go.
Infinite lives. We got infinite lives. Never say never. We're gonna live forever. Infinite lives. We got infinite lives. Never say never. We're gonna live forever.
Yo, heard you only live once. Well, I'ma disagree. Cause you can live forever and forever doesn't cease. Live through your creations and the people that you teach. So I live through my music eternally through the beats. First email says I'm digging that verse. The next 4 emails I'm missing that merch. You can't take it with you, and so I never intended to. For my last interview, this is the gift I'm sending you.
Never gonna die. No, we're never gonna die. You can hear my words in this song. It'll play on after I'm gone. Never gonna die. No, we're never gonna die. You can hear my words in this song. It'll play on after I'm gone.
Heard you only live once. That's cool, I suppose. But you can live forever through the songs you compose. Experiences you share, the highs and the lows. Experimentation with the flows, cause God knows she learned more about life from Pac's works than she ever could have gotten in church. Is that wrong? Living for that song, learning from that lyric and steering others from wrong. We living off love, never needing a meal. Full from the enlightenment and warmth that we feel. Yeah. Overflow of emotion from chilling, chasing the girls to floating over the ocean and maybe changing the world. First 2 emails like, hey, that's tight. Next few emails, you changed my life. Even if I inspire and people call it untimely, all you gotta do is rewind me, cause I've got
infinite lives. We got infinite lives. Never say never. gonna live forever. Infinite lives, we got infinite lives. Never say never, we're gonna live forever.
They said you only live once, well I beg to differ, cause you can live forever through the feelings you deliver. From the first raindrop to the rush of a mighty river, I give you the bigger picture, picture and leave a fissure open and full of hope and it's smoldering like a coaching. Proceeding with caution will never free your garden pardon. Everybody who got it and left my memory clouded, I decided instead of complaining I'd do something about it. Forever's not a time, it's a place of a state of mind. No, they never gave me mine, I elected to stay behind. There's deeds I need done, pages I haven't filled, places I haven't been through, mistakes I haven't killed, lives I haven't touched, and words I need to say. Tell me who needs forever when our forever's today. If I die, it's right on time, it's meant to be this way. Now tell me who needs forever, our forever's today. Come on.
Infinite lives, we got infinite lives. Never say never, we're gonna live